Hey guys, it's TECHGONEWILD here, and today I'm going to show you how to route mail through Verizon's SMTP servers. Now, for demonstration purposes and since it's widely used, I'm going to be using Exchange Server for this demonstration. Now, obviously, it can work with any mail server, but that's what I'm going to be using, just to give you guys a heads up. Now, basically, what I'm showing you guys here is there's been much controversy about this topic on the internet and how you set it up and everything, so I'm going to give you a tutorial on how to do it so that I just clear some stuff up for you guys. So the first thing that I want you guys to do, if you want to do this, change your email preferences in Verizon.com. To do this, you go to Verizon.com, you log on as your account administrator, and then you go under to your profile, and then on the bottom it will give you an option to change your email from Yahoo and Verizon to just Verizon. Now, the reason why we do this is because currently most people are set up to go on Verizon and Yahoo. So what this does is keeps your authentication credentials on Yahoo servers and not Verizon's. So if you were to do this without doing that, then whenever you would provide authentication to use their SMTP relaying services, it would not work because your authentication credentials are not stored on their servers. So that's basically why you have to do that. So after you do all that, there's tutorials online to do that, and there's also directions on the Verizon website. It's very easy to do. So do that, and then we can move on to our next step, which is configuring the SMTP connector. Now, this is just like a basic Exchange action. So to do this, you're going to go into Exchange Management Console. Now, after you get that loaded up, you're going to go into Organization and Configuration, and then you click this drop down arrow, and then you're going to go to Hub Transport. Once you're here, you can go to Send Connectors, so I'm already there, and then you're going to create a new Send Connector. To do this, you can either do one of two things. You can right click and click New Send Connector, or you can go over here and then click New Send Connector. Whichever one brings up the same screen, so it doesn't really matter. So we're going to wait for that to load up. Shouldn't really take that long, it's just my server is kind of slow right now. But anyway, once you get this welcome screen and the start screen for this wizard, you're going to type in a name for it. Just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to use Internet 2. Because I already have one Internet 1. And then under select the intended use for this send connector, you're going to click Internet. And this is basically telling your mail server that you want to route mail to the internet and not just keep it inside your organization. After you do this, you're going to click Next. And then under address space, you're going to click Add. And then under this address space, you're going to just type an asterisk, which specifies that you're going to use this send connector for all of your configured domains. Then after you do that, you're going to click Next. And then here comes the fun part. Now, this is basically where you specify that you want to route your mail through Verizon. So to do this, you're going to check Route Mail through the following smart host, then you're going to click Add. Then you're going to click Fully Qualified Domain Name, or FQDN, and then you're going to type in outgoing.verizon.net. Now, what this is going to do is going to go to Verizon's SMTP server, and it's going to authenticate with the authentication credentials that we're going to give it here in a second. And then after it authenticates and confirms that you are a customer of Verizon, then it will send the mail out. So you're going to click OK, and then you're going to click Next. Now here is where you put in your authentication credentials. To do this, you're going to click Basic Authentication, and you're not going to check Basic Authentication over TLS. Do not check this because Verizon does not support TLS with this sort of SMTP relaying. So now you're going to enter in your username for Verizon. This is going to be the username that you use to pay bills and do many administrator actions to your account. This username will not have the @verizon.net on the end, just your username. So for example, I'm just going to use a demo, and then password. Just type in demo. Then that's whatever your username and password is. Now after you do that, you're going to click next. And then under source server, you're just going to click your server, the server that you are currently using. And then you're going to click next. And this is going to basically set it up. And once you have this completed sign up in the corner, then you can click finish. Now basically what this is just done is create a send connector which will tell your organization to route mail through this connector, which then takes your mail up to Verizon's SMTP servers and then relays your mail from there. So there's one last thing to do before we can actually be done, which is configuring the SMTP port. Now if you just set up your Exchange server and you never mess around with ports, then it should be fine and you should be done right now. But if you have been messing around with ports and trying to get it to work, then just do this just to make sure that everything is okay. So we're going to change the port that the send connector is using to port 25. And Verizon only allows use of port 25 if you're connecting to their servers. So since we are actually connecting to their servers, we can use port 25. So to do this, we are just going to type in set send connector, then the name of your send connector. Mine is internet 2, and then just type in whatever yours may be, and that's going to be in quotes, and then hyphen port space 25. And if you do this, you're going to click enter, and it's going to say warning, the command completed successfully, but no settings of internet 2 have been modified. What that means is that mine was already set to port 25, and if yours is already set to port 25, then whatever, just to make sure we did this. And if you did get that warning message, it really means nothing. It actually means that you're all ready to go. So if you do get this warning message, or if you don't get this warning message, then you're good to go. One reason you will not be ready to go is if you get an error, at which point you've done something wrong, and if you can't figure out what it is, then you can always comment on the video, and then I'll be happy to help you. After you do this, you're just going to minimize or close that, and then at this point, your routing through Verizon's SMTP servers should be configured successfully. And to test this, you just go into OA or Outlook web app, and then you send a test message to any outside domain such as Gmail, Hotmail, even Verizon, and then you can test it by checking those if the messages were received successfully. If they are not, then just make sure you did everything correctly as according to this video. If there are any questions, you can always comment like I said before, and then that's pretty much it. So this is TECHGONEWILD signing out. And remember to please comment, rate, and subscribe. Thanks, guys.